into selling their soul for a buck. You know, when you have all these black millionaires, you know what I'm saying? All these black rappers and your Beyoncés and your Jay-Z's and you know what I'm saying? Where are they when we need back to school supplies for the kids? And where are they when we need food for the homeless? And where were they when the CVS was burning in Baltimore? You understand? Where were they when we were putting all of these fires out? But they can come in our city afterwards and make a video. You know, they can come in our city afterwards and want to get a great story because they know Baltimore's full of Freddie Gray. You know what I'm saying? And so you get your games, the game come, you get your Oprahs, you get your Commons and all of your different superstars that want to come show Baltimore love now. You know, but where were you when we needed you? So then my question then becomes, if you were never with us, how can you expect us to trust you? You know, if you never stood with us at a protest, you never sat down and ate with us, you know, how can you even relate to anything that I'm going through? You know, you got to live in my shoes just for a day. You know, and like I said earlier, that race thing, I mean, it's a definite problem, you know. But at the same time, I think it's more so class. When you talk about the upper class, the middle class, the lower class, all the killings that's happening now, where are they coming from? Where are they happening? The lower class. You know, you get you some mid classes in there, you know, but for the most part, most of these murders are happening to the lower class, the poor people, the homeless people, the people that don't have family to say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Stop playing hooky and getting this homework, you know what I'm saying, in this homeroom class. When I was coming up, I was a ladies' man. I used to love to go to school. You know, I used to want to learn. I never had the chance to go to college, you know? So I had to settle for Job Corps. I had to settle for trade school, you know? And so I went and got certified in culinary. I went and got certified in brick masonry. I went and did all of this shit just to better myself, you know? Because at the end of the day, food stamps just not gonna cut it. The first of the month checks for disability is just not enough. And you take away job applications to give us food stamps, to give us first of the month checks. Why? To keep us dependent on the government. So I mean, this is a lot of hardships that go with, you know, being cop watch or being black even. But again, I can't say it enough, like, we were built for this type of warfare, you know? Like, we come from princes and kings and queens, and like, we know what life is about. And so why we wouldn't lie down for nobody else? Why lie down for Uncle Tom? Let them make America great again. Let's leave. But before we go, Queen Elizabeth, make sure you give us all our gold back that you stole from Africa. You understand? All the noses that you chopped off them Egyptian statues, make sure you put them shits back. See, nobody wants to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to talk about that every movie that comes out that has to do with an Egyptian god has a plethora of white people in it. Nobody sees that. It's taboo. Nobody wants to talk about it. You know?
And when they do, there's always some sort of absurd...
Always some oh, you're a racist, this, and...
reverse racism.
You know what I'm saying? Or you're a homophobe, or you know what I'm saying? It's always something to deter you from the truth. A distraction. So now you want to talk about Bill Cosby, some shit that happened 50 years ago. 50 years ago. Now you want to talk about it? You know, when all of these black people are getting, or all of these lower class people are getting murdered by police and all of this brutality is happening, now you want to pull out, well, let's make gay marriage around the world legal. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. I am not a homophobe at all, but who cares about, you know, gay marriages? Let them people do what they're doing. If that's your thing, I support you. You know what I'm saying? Do that. Do what makes you happy. But don't throw something in my face to try to distract me from the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me it's raining outside and you peeing on my head. You know? Because I know that brutality is important. And I also know that gay marriage is personal preference. That shouldn't have anything to do with the next man. So when you get all of these different topics and your media takeouts and your TMZs and your world stars and your I mean, you cannot pay that stuff any attention, because in the end, it's only gonna hurt you. Brainwashing through music, subliminal messaging, backmasking on songs. That's invasion of privacy, you know? When you put in subliminal messages in songs and you're tampering with my mental state. That shit happens. Have you ever heard the Stairway to Heaven? Reverse that shit and see, don't you hear a couple of Satans and demon, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that they don't want you to know, but it's there. And they incorporate it into your TV that your children watch, the music that they listen to, you know? And so when you hear bitch this and nigga that and fuck this and kill that and all in your music, what else do you do? What else do you know? You know? You are what you listen to. You are what you hang around. So, I mean, you know, we're going to make it through. The thing is, we just got to keep people like you guys to keep pushing the word, you know, and keep it in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? Because the second that you stop paying it attention, that's the second that they win.
Yeah, it's easy for things to fizzle out. Fizzle way more easily than they came up.
Yeah. It's a lot harder to keep the limelight on a situation like this, where they don't want the truth. They want it buried as deep as possible. And they're willing to kill and lock people up just to make sure that it stays that way. Ramsey, me, you know, like, were we not supposed to wake our people up? Like, the shit that I go through, I think about a lot of stuff, man. What am I doing? What is my purpose? Why am I here? You know? What am I doing with my children? Am I raising them the right way? You know what I'm saying? I got 2 girls and a boy. It's hard being a single parent, man. You know? But at the same time, I can't stop fighting for my children. I gotta be that single dad. I gotta be strong. I gotta be positive. I gotta stay on the right path, you know? And I feel like Cop Watch and Police and the Police is just a start to a better end.
So, that's a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you.
And awesome panel.
Yep.
That video should be up on Oblivion site soon.
Okay.
But yeah, so thanks again, and to those of you watching out there, stay woke. Keep these stories running, and keep these narratives going, and, you know, don't be afraid to speak out yourself. Because as, you know, Kevin said, like, that's what's gonna make the change in the end. So,
Film the Police.